Everybody wants to be a cat.
With the newest game from Blue 12 Studio, players finally have the opportunity to experience what it's like to move, think, and act like a cat, and it's positively perfect. Stray is described as a third-person cat adventure game. It offers a mostly linear story with elements of platforming, stealth, action set pieces, and puzzle-solving segments to keep the gameplay varied and fresh. I would describe Stray best as an experience-style game, akin to games like Journey and Limbo, and it's an experience that is delightful to play. Cat lovers will lap this game up. But even if you don't particularly like cats, I still think you will enjoy the charm of this game. It quite literally places you into the paws of a stray cat. You begin the game with your feline family, doing cute cat things and living your best cat life. In a veritable catastrophe, you are separated from your family and fall into the dark, neon-lit alley and decaying underbelly of a dystopian cyber city, inhabited by sentient robots going about their lives. You soon befriend an amnesiac drone called B12. Together, you set out on a journey to uncover the mysteries of this world, regain B12's memories, and find a way to escape to the outside and reunite with your feline family. With the help of the little drone, players are now able to open previously inaccessible doors and interact with and understand the various robot NPCs in the world. The environments and storytelling in Stray is top notch. This world and the characters that inhabit it are interesting and engaging, and though you could certainly speed through the game just focusing on the main story path, I would not recommend it. I found myself taking my time and exploring every nook and cranny of the 3 hub locations that you encounter. Each area is incredibly detailed, distinct, vibrant, and oozing with character. I wanted to speak to every NPC, find every collectible, engage with the side content, which often involved finding particular items for certain NPCs, and reading every interactable prompt to learn more about this fascinating world. The robots themselves are incredibly emotive and surprisingly human, each with their own personality, sense of humor, and motivations. I found myself caring about this world and invested in the story after only a short time with the game, which is a definite achievement on the developer's part, made especially impressive by the fact that there is no real voice acting to speak of, with much of the storytelling told through the incredible environments, character animations, and amazing soundtrack. The music in Stray is fantastic, adding atmosphere to this futuristic dystopian setting. I highly recommend wearing your headphones when playing this game and turning the lights off for full effect and immersion. Let's talk about the gameplay and how the game actually feels to play. Well, let me start by saying that when playing Stray, you really are feline like a cat. Blue 12 allows players to truly roleplay. You can be a lovable cat and rub up against NPCs, sleep next to them, or snuggle on their chest. Or you could choose the more fun option of being a mean cat, pushing paint cans off ledges, scratching carpets and sofas, tripping NPCs up, jumping in the way of characters, and asserting your cat dominance. There's even a dedicated meow button. One of the biggest reasons that the game does a phenomenal job in creating the feeling of being a cat is thanks to the simplicity of its movement and the incredibly realistic animations. I don't know if the developers used mocap or just studied the movement and gait of cats in detail, but the end result is just phenomenal. Every animation feels so incredibly realistic and natural that it's even confusing real cats who seem captivated by Stray if the cat reaction videos on TikTok are anything to go by. I mean, just look at this comparison video. Just incredible. The majority of your gameplay time will revolve around exploration and platforming, although labeling it as a platformer seems misleading, as the platforming in Stray is pretty simplistic and requires little skill. To navigate around the map simply involves a contextual button prompt to jump up, across, or down certain terrain. It is not especially difficult and will require the player to simply swing the camera around to line up the correct angle, pressing the corresponding button, and then watching your cat line up the jump and then execute it. This allows players to focus more on looking for potential exploration opportunities rather than worrying about missing timing a jump's distance or angle. In this way, you always kind of feel in control and agile, which I suppose is what the developers were going for. A large part of exploration in Stray also revolves around puzzle solving. There are a variety of puzzles on offer here, sometimes requiring exploration of the nearby area to find clues and the use of your friend B12's abilities and certain cat interactions to solve them. They are not especially difficult, but the developers do a good job of keeping them challenging and varied enough that they always feel fresh and enjoyable enough to overcome. The game does a very good job of pacing by mixing these slower exploration segments with more intense action sequences, which are very linear crafted experiences, with players required to navigate murkier, more tense-filled areas inhabited by Zurks. These are crab-like creatures that will chase down and attach themselves to the player. They eat both organic and inorganic matter and pose one of the two main threats. These are some of the only segments of the game where our cat protagonist can actually die, and they can certainly be positively tense moments. But in all honesty, they are not massively challenging. Their AI is pretty rudimentary and very predictable, and the Zurks can be easily avoided if the player keeps running, leading them around the map before being able to jump to safety. Similarly, tense moments occur later in the game as players are forced to navigate stealth sections. These involve avoiding search drones called sentinels, and players must use their small stature to their advantage by sticking to the shadows, hiding in boxes, and slinking between cover. These sections were certainly more tense than the Zurk encounters for me and offered a good degree of challenge, which was enjoyable, especially if you successfully stealthed your way through a level without being spotted. In terms of game length, players can expect to beat Stray in about 5 to 6 hours if you take your time and explore everything. Thanks to the game's short length, this does make the experience feel well focused and well paced, with no one area of gameplay segment overstaying its welcome. There is no unnecessary game padding here that we see in larger titles, and everything feels well crafted and purposeful. Apart from chasing the game's achievements and that much coveted platinum trophy, I wouldn't say the game has massive replay value unless you missed some things in your first playthrough. And priced at $24.99, some may question whether the game offers true value for money, though that is always very subjective, as players value different things. Some look at game length, whereas others look at the overall quality of the gameplay or the experience on offer here. For me, Stray offers an experience like nothing out there, and I really enjoyed my time with the game. As such, I would award it a 9 out of 10. The only major criticism I have is that it is just too short and ended too soon. There was so much of the world and its characters that I would have loved to see fleshed out, and so many unanswered questions that I would love to see answered. I am hoping that Blue 12 will consider adding more content to this fascinating world in future DLC updates. Stray is certainly one of the best and most unique indie titles to come out this year. I highly recommend it and enjoyed every meowment of it. I would not be surprised to see it added to many people's Game of the Year lists, though admittedly there are some heavy contenders this year for that title. So there you have it. There are my thoughts on Stray. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and if you have any questions I haven't answered in this review, be sure to post them here and I'll do my best to answer them. If you've played Stray, let me know what you thought of the game. I would love to read your thoughts. Anyway, hope you all have a great week. Take care everyone, and as always, happy gaming. Bye guys.